idea validation. And I know this might, especially in this region, guys, it's one of the main downfalls of startups because uh, in a simpler word, I would say يحبون يكسرون مياديف. We've seen this. People always come to you and be like, why do you think you have the best idea? And, like they stop you from believing in yourself, believing in the idea, and which leads to the downfall of the business that you're able to create. So where are we going to start? Each and every one of us have unique ideas. I know that some of you might have a book, basically a book filled with ideas, and this is common. Some of you just feel inspired by something, and straight away they go and start acting upon the idea, and thinking that their idea is great. It's gonna make millions, and it's gonna be the new Facebook, new Uber, or Talabat, or whatever you want to call it. It's true. It might be the best next unicorn, but the best way to come up with a concept, I would say, it's when you look at it from a problem perspective. When you look into things from a problem perspective, you eliminate people coming straight to you and be like, why do you think your idea is great? They start criticizing you. They start always putting you down. And we see this a lot. But when you come in and start with a problem, usually problems are common within everyone. You get to see me complaining about it. You see Ahmed, Asma, Abdallah, Maryam, like all of you guys might have the same common problem. So it will be something familiar to all of us, so that this would give you at least somewhat of a better validation to the idea or the problem that you're trying to solve. So it is much better than coming up with just a fancy idea, thinking that's going to work. And you flip the table around and you try to find a solution to something that is common. And usually when it comes to these kind of problems, we are connected to it personally, sometimes emotionally as well. So it makes it easier for me to buy in, to accept your solution, because it's something that I literally need. So use an example. Let me just think about, let's talk about meal prep restaurants. So I have a busy lifestyle, and most of you guys are studying right now. Sometimes you're doing courses and maybe having exams coming up. So having a meal prep restaurant would solve my problem. I'm connected to it personally. I'm connected to it emotionally because I want to lose weight or gain weight or maintain my weight. So there's an emotional connection. So eventually it would help me buy into your idea. So that's just a simple thing that would help you understand the concept or the idea behind solving a problem and finding something that is emotionally or personally connected to people, so that it makes it easier for you to find a concept to work on. I always recommend having a book. I'm old-fashioned. I work with a book and a pencil as well. What I want you to do from now, this is a homework that I want you to do. Always try to find ideas or problems that people keep talking about. Keep your eyes open, uh, keep your eyes onto what is it, the same concept or the same problem that people keep on talking about, and trying to find a solution or just complaining about it. This would help you um, ignite your creativity. It will help you using your creative side of your brain, that would help you come up with concepts, come up with solution, train your mind into coming up with new ideas, new solutions that might potentially become a business. So this is one of the main things that I want you to focus on. Make it a homework, make it something as a part of your routine. And trust me, this would make you find something that you like, a potential business, and help your development skill, problem solving skills. And with it, this will help you a lot when it comes to coming up with a good, unique solution to solve a problem within the community that would help people buy in, and you could make a business out of it. The most common question that I got in the past few days was related to how to find a team member. This is the best way to evaluate people that you potentially want to work on. So what you did is you came up, you found a solution, you found a problem, you wrote it down. Now you want to kind of work on it. This is where you find the friends, the people that you want to work with, and have a brainstorming session with them. See yourself, do you relate with these people? Could you see things eye to eye? Do they bring something to the table that is kind of unique? It helps you, they are able to challenge you. You feel the connection between you two. This is a way to validate, is this the right person that complements me? And I would be able to kind of work with them and have them as part of my startup. So you're not only validating the problem, but you're validating this potential friend that might become your co-founder. So this is the fundamentals, I would say, things that I want you to work on. And next comes the problem. So we found a couple of ideas that you want to work on. We found someone that we kind of relate to. Now we chose the first problem that we want to work on. So the first thing I would ask you to do is ask yourself, why am I the right person to solve this problem? You will find out that you might have some experience within this problem, in solving this problem. You might be able to say that I have some skill sets, some qualifications that aligns you with solving this problem in a good way, so that you kind of help people, just overcome their challenges. So I'll take myself as an example. I'm a health coach, and I built my platform based my own expertise. I built the platform for myself from all the challenges that I faced. So I'm relatively relatively familiar with the challenges, with the things that I need that other people might need, and it will benefit them. So what I did is I kind of created a business out of my own challenges that is familiar to me, and I have the skill sets to do it. And I know that people want it, other coaches need it. And eventually, this is what made it relatively helpful for me to build upon it and invest more time and effort to make it into a business and let it grow. This is what and this is where I want you to find even the right person that would complement you regarding this matter. Maybe you kind of work on the business development side of things, work into marketing, and the other person might come into working into operations, development, IT. So this is where you might find that person that would work hand in hand to make your product work. Just few years back, if people told us that we're going to use online payments using benefit pay and stuff, we were just not very familiar with it. We weren't very keen on using it. Right now, anyone that asks you for cash, sometimes you're like, really? You're still using it? This is something that before, like literally we're talking just a few years back, so new is not bad, as Dr. Isra said. But it's all about how you execute it, how do you present it, and marketing usually plays a big key role here for you on to finding the right tone of voice, right way of branding, so that people would be familiar with it, accept it, and kind of start using it. So as mentioned, Dr. Isra summed up the first part of the presentation, or let's say the lecture. Now I would say the second part is, I mentioned to you guys, once you know the skill set, once you got to know the qualifications, all these elements that would help you to start solving your problem. Once you start solving a problem, it's always good to do your research. Let's say I would like to talk about, as an example, let's talk about the food delivery industry. Before Talabat, we had to call the restaurants, and some of them had deliveries, some of them didn't have deliveries. The ones that had deliveries, sometimes they took so much time, or they were limited, they don't deliver to your homes. So what did they do? Talabat came in and they kind of made it easier for us to find all the restaurants that we want in one location, and eventually made the process a little bit easier. But what happened is they were limited with the delivery as well. So what Courage did is they came up with the same concept, but they introduced something new. And this is why this is related to the qualifications and skill set that I mentioned, is what is your unique point that would make you find a solution better than others? So if you're gonna copy anyone, there is it's okay to copy, guys. If it's okay to not copying, but introducing the same solution but better. This is the best thing you could do. Let's say even for me, my platform, it's not something new. Relatively, there is a couple of other platforms, but the niche is they kind of, what they did is they selected a certain niche. You could only find a website for personal trainers, one website for yoga instructors, one website for nutritionists, and others for mental health specialists. What I did is I redefined health and well-being. I introduced holistic health. Holistic health is the wholeness of well-being to help you guys, help people in general. And I put it all under one umbrella, which is the Nourishers. So I brought a concept, developed it, enhanced it, and eventually presented to the people. So this is something that you all need to do. Find your unique selling point, your unique skill set that you might be able to implement in your business model that will help you stand out other than beyond others, to make you stand out and make your product better than the competition. Once you do that, this is where you will come up with your MVP. What you do here is, this is sometimes the most crucial part when it comes to launching your first product. I said it once, I will say it again and again to remind you guys, don't be emotionally invested in your first product. Don't wait too long and be like, no, I will only launch my product when it's perfect. Don't think that this product has to be the best when I have to launch it. Make sure you just think about it as the first phase of my product. It has to be flexible, it has to be adaptable, it should be able to be tested in the market, and go invest as minimum time and effort in it. Because even if people validate your product, your friends, your family tells you that it's a good product, you kind of got a little bit of feedback. Still, once you go into the market, things change. The market is the only place where it's going to test your product, and it will tell you if you're successful or not. But defining success is not that your product worked or not. Success is how flexible you are, how proactive you are, how fast can you learn from the process of releasing, evaluating, relaunching the product to fit the market better. So once you launch your MVP, um, as I always say, start fast, fail fast, learn fast, readjust, relaunch, and keep on repeating. You keep that circle going on, because this is the only way you could test out your product and see if it fits the market. If it's not, you will go back, test it out, release something relatively good to the market fit, and then you keep on repeating that. We got a question last time, how do we change our product if times change or another pandemic change? This is exactly what I mentioned. If you teach yourself to be able to reassess and readjust every single time, It will help you to build an adaptive mindset to be able to build your concept and keep on changing it based on every situation that might happen. So this is where you need to be flexible. You don't need to be emotionally connected to your business, but you have the time and effort to you put the time and effort to build upon it, help it grow, and eventually this is going to help you produce something that is good in the market and eventually would lead you to growth and success. Um, there's there's just one thing that I wanted to mention is once you test out the product, please test it out with the right people. Test it out with the right people. Get validation from the right people. Ask the right people. Ask the people that understand your concept and understand your product. And this is the only people that you should feel like initially take their word for what you're trying to build, and with it they would help you build a better concept. If you keep on asking someone that relatively doesn't understand anything related to your business, they'll always come in and be like, what are you doing, what are you trying to build, this is something we don't need. So you always get that. So this is the most crucial thing you should always keep in mind. So yeah, this is one of the most valuable things that you need to put into consideration. And how do you to validate your product? What is the most important fundamentals that you need to put in consideration? Always focus on the problem. This is what you need to always keep as your motive. How could I always keep perfecting my product to solve the problem? Love your customers, listen to your customers, get feedback. Always consider every feedback you get is as constructive criticism. Don't get emotionally when someone says something bad about your product. Every comment counts. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, how could you get it better? I tried my best. Now you tell me, what do you think? This would always take things, just it will help you take things into consideration and see it from different perspectives.